The whole world was made to make somebody like you weak. The whole world was meant to tempt you to sin, to spending money, to wasting time, to being lustful, to all these different types of pleasures and temptations and colors and shiny objects. Do you really think that if the world wasn't a consumer world, that all these things were made for you to fail? For you to spend money, for you to lose your mind, lose your control of your mind. Why would these things exist? To make money, to make you fail, to make you feel bad about yourself, to make you in some way depressed so that you can spend more and more and more of your time, energy, and effort. The whole world was created for you to fail. As simple as it sounds, it's true. We have so little control over what we actually have control of. What we think that because we're born into an educational system in the United States that we're free. We're not free at all. We learn, or we think that we're getting educated in these systems to where people are in full control over us people. Full control over what degree we get, what grades we get. Full control over even if we get a job after school or not. You don't even know if you have a certainty to get a job after school. You think that you spend your whole life for a degree, spend your whole time learning something from a system that you don't even understand, and then you're going to have to live a job for the rest of your life? Is that a system that sounds fair to you at all? Any of you guys? No. The whole world was meant to be against you. It was meant to make you a weak person, a weak-minded person. If you're a person that just can't understand, can't sit alone, can't seem to understand that there's something that doesn't add up. Why are there people that have billions and billions of dollars? I'm not trying to be political in any way. I'm trying to explain the uncertainties of life. Because people are so easily tempted from what I see. Especially our current generation. Especially the people that are still alive, that are able to watch this video. The truth is, life does not care who you are. It does not care what your name is. It does not care where you were born. It does not care what physical abilities you have, what talent you may have. It doesn't care if you think you're smart. Because if nothing works, if you don't work, if you don't use that mind, if you don't use that ability, if you don't use what you truly have, everything will just go to waste. And people are letting it happen right in front of them, in front of their eyes. They know what is bad. They know the bad habits they have. They know the things that are not going to help them. Yet, we accept it. We say, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser. Why would you say that? Why would you ever bring that negative self-talk into your life? Everybody looks in a mirror and doesn't think that they're a winner now. You don't believe that you can do it? You don't believe that it's possible? You don't believe that you can quit that addiction? You don't believe that you can be somebody? Be somebody more? Be proud of the person you see in the mirror? Everybody has insecurities. I'm not saying that no one has insecurities and that you shouldn't have any insecurities and that you should only be confident. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that you know exactly what you're doing in life. You know exactly what steps you're taking. You know exactly what actions you're doing. You know it. Subconsciously, you know it. But consciously, you don't do what's right. You're not doing the things that will actually make you a better person, will actually make you smarter, will actually develop you, will actually lead to growth. You just continue living this life in autopilot, scrolling, more wasting time, more thinking about pointless things, more thinking about pointless people. You think about too many things in too many different directions, letting your emotions and letting your feelings take control. If everybody just let their feelings and their emotions take control, then they wouldn't be a person that has free will. Because every single person that you think is attractive, you're going to go talk to them. Every single pleasure that may look good, you're going to indulge. Is that what kind of person you are? Are you a person that just accepts every single thing? You don't have a standard for yourself? You don't have a level of tolerance? You tolerate everything. You let everything come through. You say it's fine. It's going to be okay. I'm going to drink this bottle. I'm going to smoke this joint. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine tomorrow, right? But no, your body takes a toll. Your mind takes a toll. Your discipline takes a toll. Everything counts. Whether you want it to count or whether you don't want it to count, everything counts. When you fail in one aspect of your life, the rest of it starts to shamble. You cannot believe that just because you're doing one thing right, that everything else can be bad, that everything else can be mediocre, that everything else can be average. That's not how life works, buddy. That's not how life works, man. Okay. I just want to say, I get how difficult it is. I understand how difficult this may sound. It's so, you're pressuring me to being a better person. You're saying all these things about how bad it is. But what about the good things? How about positivity? How about actually indulging and actually having and living a life that you want to live? But don't you get that feeling that once you indulge in something, that once you talk to somebody you shouldn't have talked to, once you search something up that you shouldn't have searched up, once you do something, some action that you're not supposed to do, don't you feel bad after? Aren't you feeling this feeling that you shouldn't have done it? That you truly look at yourself in the mirror and say you're disgusted of yourself. Is that not true? Well, how is it going to be positive if you don't feel good? If your body is telling you that it is not good for you? The positive reinforcement comes from doing the right things. When you give money to charity, when you give money to a homeless person, when you work on yourself, when you get fitter, when you get stronger, when you get mentally stronger, you start to build an identity, a mindset that cannot be forged in any other way. And that starts to seep into every single aspect of your life. From brushing up your teeth, to cleaning your room, to your physical health. Everything starts to add up, and you start seeing things for what they are. You start seeing the bad things, the bad habits, the parties, the jokes, the wasting of time. You see all the bad things now. And you start to say, wait, that's not me. Wait, I can clean my room. Wait, I can be consistent. Wait, I can build a good body. Wait, I'm actually disciplined. And you start to build an identity that you will not do that because it's a non-negotiable now. That even though I really want to do this thing, even though I really want to have fun, even though I really want to get drunk, even though I really want to go to this party, I'm not going to do it because that's not who I am. I'm not going to lose myself because I know who I am. When you build an identity of yourself, how can you fail? You cannot fail. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you look at the world. It's different. You have built the identity. And nothing and nobody can change that. But it all comes down to, what are you willing to change right now? What are you willing to stop tolerating in your life? What distractions and people and things and pleasures are you willing to cut out of your life right now to start the identity shift to becoming the person that you've always wanted to become? To actually making a change in life instead of living the life of autopilot. I don't know, man. Sometimes I think even the advice that I'm saying, it's so hard to incorporate. But at least that when I say to myself, I see what I say. I do what I say. Also ties back into your actual identity. That's all I have today. Stoic Tang here. Hope you guys have a good one.